Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a quick review here of the Koenig Arius. This one is kind of one of those ones that I don't have to say a lot about. It kind of speaks for itself. It is one that is hard to really beat. You really can't. When it comes to fit and finish, when it comes to materials, when it comes to just overall the build and just how well they did it and all the fine details and the action and whatnot, it's really, there's not any really negative you can put on it. The only thing you can really say is it's not your style, and that's okay. If this particular guy does not appeal to you, then that's fine. But if it does, know that it is one of the best American-made knives out there. And so we're gonna do some size comparisons and then get into the details. This guy has been used. Before I do any review, I always use them just to make sure there's no weird flaws that I would see otherwise. Whether that's handling, whether that's ergonomics, or blade geometry, or cutting edge geometry, or anything like that that would otherwise not pop up if I didn't use it. But here we get into the size comparisons. So here is funny enough, these guys are made at the same place, or not same place, but same state. Both Idaho. Now, they're very similar sizes here. Blade wise and cutting edge, pretty much identical. The Arius does have a slightly longer handle, but that's just because of this guy right here. Otherwise, they are pretty much identical in the size. Let's do something a little bit lower on the totem pole price-wise. Again, you got a very similar size blade, similar size cutting edge. Arius does have a little bit more cutting edge, but the handle is a little bit longer than the 940. Let's go with the Shaman. That way you can get another look. Similar blade length. Arius is slightly longer, not by a ton, not by something huge. Grip area, very close to the same over here. These 2 points line up. Cutting edge is definitely different. That's obvious. This Arius has quite a bit more. The next two, I'm going to do it this way. That way we have a different kind of view here. This is the Strider S&G. Again, same blade length. They have the same idea with the handle, a little bit larger handle for more grip, more ability to move your hand around, get the grip that you want for any situation that you are using it in. Next, this guy. Again, I use all my knives, so this guy's a little dirty. There you go. Similar blade length, similar cutting edge. The only big difference is the handle difference. The handle differences is that the Arius is overall has a larger handle. Alright, so that's going to be it for size comparisons this time. But as you know, there's more to this, guys, than just its size. So it is a really, really good size overall for EDC. Hold on, I gotta move some things here. So pens decided to roll nonchalantly in the way. There we go. So blade obviously is very nice, pretty thin behind the edge here. It slices really well. And when slicing this right here, because the fingers go in here, go and locks in there, but then everything here is knocked down. It's again, I use my knives. Everything here is just done to perfection. I guess this is the reality. Is like, if you're trying to perfect a design, like this is design you have, but you want to perfect it completely. That is what they did. Anywhere from this guy being knocked down to the lock bar insert here, to the action, to the drop shut. Like, I mean, there you go. Like, that's just insane, and always will be. I mean, to the milling and the handle. This guy got a little scraped up, and that's mainly just due to use. Once again, this was actually because the shingles are here on a rooftop. When doing some work, and it was in my pocket and laying on my side doing something, and I got scraped. That adds character. Still center. Still no play. Either way, I have taken this apart. I actually took this apart pretty quickly after I got it. Reason being is I sat down on the table after using it instead of in my pocket, and I don't know why. I didn't just put it in my pocket. There are some things that everybody does that you wonder, why did I do that? And then I knocked over a can of soda directly onto it. And knowing that soda can be sticky and all that stuff, and ruin things, and so I just took it apart, cleaned it, and put it back. And it was easy to put back together. It wasn't hard at all, and I was able to get the action back to how it was. Well, lesson learned: do not spill soda on any knife, for various reasons. Even though it is stainless, soda and other things like that are more likely to make it rust, or mess up the lube on the pivot, and so forth and so on. Just don't do it. It's not a good idea. But at the very end of this, the reality is this has great ergonomics, some of the best. This has great looks. Even though it's a little dirty, it still looks great. The blade geometry for cutting and slicing is fantastic. Cutting up boxes, cutting open boxes. I'm doing some wood carving, cutting some tape, cutting things open at work. Every once in a while, testing it to see if you can strip wire, or just the jacket off of SCR. You can look up SER if you want to. It's a large gauge wire that a lot of is mainly used for service entry, risers, and stuff like that. Stuff to power a home, whether it's from the weatherhead or whether it's underground, or going from a disconnect to your panel. Either way, it's big wire. It's not easy to strip. And so this did it fine. But one thing to note every time when using it is it felt good in the hand. It didn't hurt. It felt like it could do it for a prolonged period of time. And it's always a nice thing to see. And so on top of that, it's a nice slicer. It's good ergonomically. They put the pocket clip in a great spot, so it's not nearly as protruding in your pocket, but I'm someone that doesn't put something else in their pocket. When you have a knife in your pocket, I just leave that pocket alone. The pocket clip, some pocket clips will be nice for the pocket, look nice, but then when you put it in your hand, you feel it, and it just doesn't feel good. Not this one. The way when you put it in your hand like this, it kind of goes right into here and actually fills that gap. It actually helps the ergonomics. It does look nice, especially when it's not completely beat up. But there are like a small little ramp here. It's flat that they added a tiny bit of grip to it. You can kind of see it right there, those lines. And then you can kind of pull it out much easier out of your pocket. It does go in and out of the pocket really easily. It has a decent amount of depth. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to really say about this guy. I could go on and on about the lines, how everything lines up and just flows well, how everything is really precise and very eye-catching. Looks good, but performance is great. It truly is one of the best knives you can get that's American made. Now, they're not cheap, and that's the reality of it. For a while, they were like $400, $450 for what they were charging. That was insane because that was way better than anything in that price range. Like, way better, no question. And then they kind of figured it out. So they're a lot more in the Grims and Mo and the Holt Spectre kind of range of price now. They're less than those, most 90% of the time. They're about in the $800 range. But knowing what you get like a design and then they have perfected it, it's definitely, I would say, worth it. Especially if you like the design. If you don't like this look, that's understandable. But hey, if you like this look, know that it is to perfection, or as close as you can get to perfection. And it will last you a long time and knock your socks off, to be quite honest, in every manner. But yeah, so the stop pin is on the blade, by the way. If you were wondering, you kind of see the track right in there, which takes pressure off of the pivot, which is also really nice. But besides that, that's the only other thing that really can be talked about at this point. Either way, this is definitely a knife I do 100% recommend to anybody. anybody, any knife enthusiast, anybody that wants to use a knife for, you know, a long time and then pass it down to his kids, this is a good one to go with. But that's gonna be it for this one. Please subscribe. Please like the Facebook page. Please follow the Instagram. And I will see you guys in the next one.